We are back. Hit it, Chewy.
Who brought these drugs? Who brought that good stuff? Who brought these drugs? Who brought the drugs? Hit 'em with the magic tune. Hit 'em with the magic tune. Eyes rolling back of the head. Eyes rolling back. Like a zombie do. Like a zombie. What kind of drugs is this? Zombies out of it. Drugs on their face. Just a little taste. Blood drinkers. Death iller. What the fuck is going on? These motherfuckers, they straight gone. Snapping necks, I'm cashing checks. Lovely ladies, know I'm it. Dancing over with the broomsticks. These motherfuckers passed out. Their fucking eyes roll back and they're out of it, baby. We're moving on through. 1, 2. Who brought these drugs? Who brought the drugs? Hit 'em with the magic tune. Hit 'em with the magic tune. Eyes rolling back of the head. Eyes rolling back. Like a zombie do. Like a zombie.
Oh my God. Welcome back to Lady Babylon. I pulled out the old shirt for this. Oh God. I'm wearing old purple today out in the sunshine. I love it. People, oh, you don't want to know what happened. You don't want to know, do they, Chewy? They don't want to know. I want to first of all say thank you to everybody who wrote to me concerned and said, what happened? Right? Right? Oh, God. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your concern. And look what we did here. We jerked you an hour backwards. Oh, God. Should we execute any spammers on there, right? Are you ready for this, people? Oh, it is so good to be back. I can't stay away from you for more than a few days that I don't get funny feelings. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? Oh, God. For all of you who wrote to me and said, where are you, Almond? Where is Chewy? We're back, baby. And I have brought you some of the finery that you are absolutely going to love, right? I brought it back. Hail Satan. Fantastic. Yeah. Right? Fantastic, right? Saturnus, right? Oh, God, Saturn. Love it. It comes through the Roman mouth on that side. You know what I mean? Right? Oh, God. Love it. Oh, it's good to see you too. Right. And good morning. And sorry about the times, people. Sorry about the times. That's Chewy. Says, tell him that was my fault. Right? That was Chewy's fault. Everybody, tell Chewy. These things are important, Chewy. It's okay. That's what happens when you work with a Wookiee. They end up doing what they want, right? Fantastic. I'm glad that Chewy's there. By the way, we would not be back at all here without the genius of Chewy. So thank you for piloting, Chewy. I really appreciate it. You're providing the dope for everyone. Oh, God. Fantastic. Okay, people, what am I going to do today? I'm going to get to go a little bit longer today, I think, because of our improved hyperdrive, right? What the hell? This is fantastic. Now, people, I've got clips from the front. I've got clips from the front for the congregation because I knew you would want them. I knew you would want them. These are from Iron Danny Jones. And I think you need to understand that Iron Danny Jones is fighting in the front of the Renaissance. I think you need to understand that, right? Congregation, let's honor Iron Danny Jones. People, Tell me how sexy Iron Danny Jones is. Give me a little after after Iron. Do we have a background? What am I doing so big? You. What am I doing so big? Oh, you giving the people some love. Put me up next to Medusa because this is where we're going today. I brought you some cult people. I brought you some cult horror. This is the stuff that makes your blood curdle. Do you understand me? And it has to be that way, right? It has to be that way. In order for us to look at the cult, to see the mystery in operation, we have to see the horror. Do you understand me? You have to look into her eyes. Oh, God. What was her name? Lhasa, over with the Etruscans, right? She's got a giant hammer. It's for your head. Yeah. But that's the way you get the blood curdled. Do you understand? It's the way you get the blood curdled. You need that fear in the person. You remember we talked about humans as drug dispensaries, right? You can farm this stuff, right? You can farm this stuff. What is Iron Danny doing? He's in the front. He's in the front, and I'm giving him all of the documents that he can use. That he can use in order to forge the new Renaissance, baby. Absolutely. And he's driving it in. He's fearless. He's fearless, man. He's fearless. He's the hero of the Iron Generation. Oh, God. I love it. I love it. And now watch. Watch. Let's send him forth into battle real quick. People, Medusa is on her way. So you should pull out your diapers, the ones for the little ones and the ones for the big ones. Are you ready? You wanted some of this. I said we've got to bring him the best today, baby. We've got to bring him the best. Are you ready with the Okay, people, who is this? Who is this? This is the Frenchman who wrote the BMCR, the Bryn Mawr Classical Review of the Chemical Muse. Now, wait, make me big for a second. Satanic congregation, I want you to look into my eyes. I want you to know something, Satanic congregation. This gentleman wrote that I had a drug agenda. Right? He said my book shouldn't be read. Chemical Muse should not be read at any university. Right? Definitely not. Right? Okay. Come to find out, people, he doesn't even read Greek. You say, wait a minute. What does that matter? This is the Bryn Mawr Classical Review. This makes and breaks careers. This gentleman wrote a career devastating review, malicious, said I had a drug agenda. It was medieval. And come to find out, the dude doesn't even do Greek. Iron Danny Jones went in and exposed him. Are you ready, people? Satanic congregation. I know you're giving shout outs to Iron Danny Jones. Here, let's get to it. Let's get to it, people. Out of the mouth of the gentleman himself. Oh, God. Monsieur, open those lips.
So I want to ask you, so we talked about this briefly. You were the only academic person to do a peer review, Bryn Mawr peer review on the Chemical Muse book by Amon Hillman. First of all, how did you come across this, and how did you get chosen to do the peer review? I don't know how this process works.
I made some peer review for Bryn Mawr University, which is a kind of research center, and also
it's like the newspaper. It is like the holy grail of classical scholarship, peer review on classics.
Exactly.
Classics.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So sometimes I make some peer review when the book is between paleopathology, which is my specialty, forensics, and antiquity or other periods. So I found the title very interesting and the topic also. So I wanted to read it first and then to make a very objective analysis of the book.
Yes. So my understanding of what a classical philologist is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it's someone who studies the ancient texts, the ancient Greek specifically, because I believe there's way more Greek than any other language. And they try to use all of the sources that are, all the sources they can to corroborate what specific words mean based on that time period.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So did you see that? It's the Bryn Mawr Classical Review, the maker and the breaker of the career. Do you see the filter through which you're receiving your information? Do you see the filter? Right. Okay, now I want you to notice too, he just kind of picked it up. What are you in a committee of people? Is there a room? What are the, oh God, what are the rules? What are the rules for this? Dude, paleopathology. You're looking at bones, dude. Do you think I give a rat's ass about bones, Mr. France? I don't. And shame on you to everybody who watches Lady Babylon in France. Right. Look what your finest, your most brilliant are doing. People, I wrote the book about the literary texts. Do you understand? Oh my God. He didn't even. So why did they crush? Why did they crush the Chemical Muse? Because that's what they did. He said this book shouldn't be read at a university. Right? Like which was awesome, by the way. As soon as I read that, I was like, yeah, you people, right? What more could I ask for in this world than to be given such a glorious award, an award of a banned book. Now it's years later, and they've had time. The idiots have had time to go over the evidence. And what do they find in literature? The drugs are all over the place. Remember, people, a university professor, a dude from Brown, right, said, look, it's going to take him 10 years. Right? Well, this was the person. This was the person who worked as the filter to keep this information from you. Do you understand? Oh, God. It's the same thing. It's why Jesus was arrested in a public park with a naked kid, with his hoo-ha covered with a bandage, a medicated bandage, used in rites, mystery rites. It's the same reason. It's going to take time for Christing to sink in. Danny Jones says, we don't have time. Danny Jones is the hammer of iron. Do you understand? Oh, God. Hit it Chewy, give me some more. People, do you love this? We have to figure out how to talk, how to discuss. I hope people are seeing your comments. Okay, Chewy, go ahead.
So words can have semantic drift. So if you're looking at one word that was used in 100 AD, it might have a very different meaning 500 BC.
And at the same period, the same word may have different meaning between two different authors. This is also a specialty of antique period.
Between multiple authors.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And there's also different types of authors, right? You have people who are writing medical texts. You have people who are doing philosophy, poetry,
theater,
exactly. Comedy.
So it's really dangerous.
Yes.
It's dangerous because the meaning is different and the conclusion may be different too.
Timmy, bring me up. This gentleman, this monsieur, has you in the back alley now. Right? Yeah. One word. Tom down the street can write it this way, and George down the street can write it this way, and Mary over there on Broadway, she can write it that way. And none of them can communicate because it could mean different things. Do you realize the person who is telling you this and telling Danny this does not read Greek? People, the person telling you this does not read Greek. If there is one lesson Lady Babylon has conveyed in 2.5 years, it's that everything comes through Mother Greek. That's all. That's all, people. Otherwise, you can get taken in the back alley. This is a Frenchman giving you a swirly. A swirly, people. Does the congregation like being given swirlies? Yes. Oh, so they're calling for the poop hole. They're calling for the poop hole. People, what are they calling for the poop hole for? Right? Maybe it's a party. Maybe it's a party. So we'll get Jung, and Jung will be giving it to Timmy in the poop hole, and we'll put this guy in the poop hole. Big stirring. Stir it up. Oh, God, doesn't it feel good? Isn't it lovely what you can do with the tech people that we have today, right? Interdimensional tech, baby. Okay, let me hear some more, Danny.
So this is why you need to make a very precise scholarship analysis and studies before writing such a book. The book was not bad anyway, not bad at all.
Okay, did everybody hear what he's calling for? He's calling for good analysis and technique. He doesn't read Greek. He couldn't judge my technique if he tried. If he doesn't read those sources, he doesn't read them. He doesn't know. I sat and I read a source with someone. Do you understand? I read a source with someone. Eyes opening. People, just Galen's Theriac. People, just read it. Talks about Marcus Aurelius getting high on the Theriac and what it does for your body and your constitution. And that's exactly what I've been looking at for a reason. This is real, man. And that's why this is Renaissance. And the fakes, the phonies, the people who just bubble absolute shite out of their mouths. Oh, that's what we get. It's the Old West, man. I don't get it. If we have the correct admixture of shite coming out of our mouths, we'll be able to control enough people, right? Renaissance is stepping out of the poop hole. Do you understand? Right? We need a bath. Anybody else here need a bath? We all need baths, right? This guy has us all, people. He has us all. This is the mechanism. Look what he did to the Chemical Muse. Oh my God. Banned book, man. Give it to me. Give it to me.
All. But my opinion was that maybe it was a little bit going too far. Going too far. Yes, going too far. And it was also missing a very important part, which was paleotoxicology. I mean,
paleotox. He said it was missing paleotoxicology. Okay, why don't you invent some then? Right? Oh God, you people, this is a book on texts. Does anybody not understand that now? A book on texts. God, language, people. It's the source for everything. It's like I heard Wes Huff say on Joe Rogan. He said there weren't any hospitals, right? And Joe Rogan laughs. Ha, yeah. Seriously. You know what that was? That was you and I watching a dude finger another dude. Yeah, that's what that was. That was the Wes Huff finger that Joe got. Hospitals. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Do you know where the biggest libraries are, people? Where do you think they are? In the hospitals, right? Oh my God. Somebody needs to take these people and push them into antiquity, right into the faces of these texts that we have that just say the stuff. People, look back. Oh my God. Pergamum, people, was the giant. Their library was huge. Right? The Alexandrians had nothing on the Pergamenes. Oh my God. And it's the medical library. Gee, people are, it's just amazing. Right? But to watch somebody get fingered on a national stage, it's amazing. Now, this Frenchman's going to keep trying to put his hand around your backside, people, your intellectual backside. Don't be dirty. Timmy, shut up. Give it to me.
Analysis of ancient bone sample of what was inside antique vases, for example.
Turn thinking about your bathroom.
Oh, this commercial is so much better. I like her bathroom. Hey there. Right, get that thing off there. You can't advertise. Get it. Oh, it's not? Is it just me? Oh, wow. I was with the. All right, go ahead.
Present already in many studies, paleotoxicological studies, etc. It was not included into this book, and this was for me.
The book was so the book is in the what is the word I'm trying to think of right now? The premise of the book. His background is specifically in reading texts. He doesn't. It's not a multidisciplinary book. That's what what I was trying to get across.
Yes. This was for me a limitation of the book.
Right.
And the second is that the author.
Okay. So it is not. It is not what it never pretended to be. Therefore, don't let it be read at universities. There's a drug agenda. Do you see what happened? Do you see what happened? It's academia with its political pants dragged around its knees. You can see the bloomers, right? Give me a switch. Speaking of bloomers, can I switch my polarity now to meet the polarity? Let's see if I want to do something for the folks down under. Hey, look, this is for you because I got a lot of messages from the people down under and from students saying, "Are you leaving? What are you doing? You've abandoned." Oh, did it not work? People, am I in Australian mode? Now, now it's confusing. Stop. Oh God, that was tragic. Give me more Danny. Stop messing around. Didn't work. Give me more Danny. People, Joey's doing things. Go ahead.
Is absolutely respectable, had his own previous ID before doing the book. And he used all the arguments for confirming his previous ID. Normally, when you do such a book, you have to remain and to stay objective. And you have to make your own criticism of your theory, you see? In such a book, there was only one way of thinking. Everyone was using drugs in past period. This is what is said.
He said drugs were ubiquitous in antiquity.
Yes, exactly. And sincerely, it needs to be strength a little bit more, because we've got so much skeletons, we've got so much ceramics. So he had the opportunity of proving his theory using paleopathology, paleotoxicology, and please do it. Please do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a very interesting theory, but you may prove it from a pure independent way. So this was really something.
A theory. I'm talking theory. There's no theory in the Chemical Muse. And that's what he doesn't like. Do you understand? I am a classical philologist. I am what this gentleman is not. I have the scientific discipline that this gentleman does not. He has come to a neuroscientist lab to tell the neuroscientists what to do when he is a non-student even. He has zero of the discipline. Do you understand? It would be like me criticizing a basketball player because they weren't throwing the football right. You're in the wrong game, Jacques. Oh my God. Do you understand what was really behind this? What was really behind this? Read the review, people. You can see. Just read the review. Right? It's this guy has a drug agenda. Right? Drug agenda, drug maniac. This dude is. Right? Do you understand? Drugs were ubiquitous in antiquity. That is a scientific statement. Drugs were ubiquitous. All right. Since you were a child, you have been treated with and bombarded with drugs. There are plants in your environment that you have no knowledge of, that in antiquity, they were giving you on the daily. Did you know that? Do you know what you give little kids who have earaches and toothaches? What do you give a little kid? You come back home from your time in the field, and there she is crying her little eyes out. What do you give little Betsy? You dump some opium into her. Yeah, you dump some opium into her. Right, mixed with several other drugs. Right, you're not going to the doctor. Do you understand? You're not going to the doctor because there is a level of knowledge that is drugs. The roots of medicine, people, are drugs. 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 And there's a lot, man. And when I sit down with people and show them the text and they look at the text, their eyes open and they're like, damn. Right? Somebody just recently criticized me for talking about using humans. Right? Oh, it's this guy. right, indirectly, because he throws in a little bit of history of medicine. Oh, they did that in Alexandria with Herophilus. Right, he didn't say Herophilus. I didn't think he did, but Erasistratus, and he did. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't mention. He didn't mention the. That's very civil. This is a nice civil society. He didn't mention anything. Let's get back to it. Bring up Danny.
Thing which was missing from me.
So my understanding of it is he wrote his PhD dissertation on drugs in antiquity, and the panel that was reviewing his dissertation said, we will approve your PhD as long as you remove the chapter on recreational drugs. So he removed that chapter because they said that the Romans wouldn't do such a thing. The Romans, they would never engage in recreational drug use. So he decided to take that chapter after he received his PhD and basically turn it into that book. And that book was like based on that chapter. So for whatever reason, he felt slighted by the academic institution, that the fact that, like, why would you try to take this out of there just because you have an idea that they wouldn't do such a thing? Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe that the Greeks and the Romans would not do such a thing as engage in recreational drug use?
Great cocktail.
Oh God. We have to let the commercials roll. Beautiful question though, right? Would you now he wants him to consider. Remember, this is the dude who wrote the review to crush the career, right? I mean, this is the seeds of my Ronin lifestyle, people. It was partially, I should thank Jacques. I should thank him. It's partially what he did here that allowed me to flex into what I've done, all the research that I've done, and the things that I've changed, right? And the ripple that it will have in the field and outside of the field. That's what's most important, what's outside of the field. Because we're not all sitting around in circles of academic circle jerkery, right? Right? Some of us are living. Look, fantastic. Let's do and say exactly what we need to. Chewy, give me the next little clip. Play more.
Of drugs like alcohol or anything else during the past period. But I'm not a historian, and I'm not, but I do believe that drugs were used in past period on opium, for example, on other kinds of drugs. And we can see it with very good examples in that book. For example, in sanctuaries, like the Pitti in Delphos or the Sibylus in Cuma in Italy now. So I think drugs were present. Yes, drugs were really present.
But do you believe it's possible that they were used recreationally, not just medicinally?
Maybe partially, yes, may. Yeah, from a pure conventional point of view, practical point of view.
Make me big, Chewy. Bruh. Did what happen? Did what just happen with people? Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, Satanic Congregation, but the dude is saying I'm wrong and then using me as the only quotes, as the only, look, you obviously learned at least a few things from the Chemical Muse about ancient drug use, buddy. Now, why did you chop its head off? Why did you burn that virgin book? Why did you do it? You called her a witch and you burned her. And now you're quoting her? Do you see behind the visible, people? Satanic Congregation. This is Dojo. I am training you. Right? My example. Right? If you don't think that I learned from other people's examples, you're wrong. That's all I did. It's why I didn't pay attention to what they were saying, right? I was watching them. Yeah, you're wrong, but you're right. Doesn't that sound like what it is? Right? And people, you notice that he got scared there. He said, I'm not a historian. And then you see his eyes are a little bit, he's exposing. You've got to realize that when my dissertation committee met and did that and told me to take out the chapter, I got a contract right away, went to the press right away, did a work with a journalist right away, who went to the university right away. And there was a ripple in classics. There was a quake in classics because the university then came out, University Department of Classics came out and said, we did not alter. We did not ask him to take out the chapter, right? That's what they claimed. He's lying, right? We did not ask him to take out the chapter. So this smart journalist went down to the library that keeps and deposits your dissertations so that he could find, right, what was there versus what was given to him by the department. And there was a discrepancy. Why? Because I had to remove a chapter. He found the censorship. His name was Kevin Revelinsky. And he found the censorship, and it made a ripple in classics. It made the classics department at the University of Wisconsin look bad, corrupt, and bad. Oh, God. Oh, God. So what happened? This is the Bryn Mawr Classical Review that followed my book, that took all of that chapter and blew it up into one punch, one Renaissance punch, right? And up it came. So that's why Jacques Philippe, right? That's why this Frenchman, oh God, Venus, close your eyes. Right? No, I'm serious. Venus has a thing with the French. It's natural, but in this case, it's not there. What is he doing? He's got you in the back alley, people. Venus doesn't take you in the back alley. God. Keep playing. Let's hear him.
I don't have any argument against it. But I would really like to have scientific proof of it. And we've got so many skeletons. You will tell me, okay, skeletons in bones, you cannot find everything. Remember.
People, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. The scientific proof of recreational drug use is people from the ancient world talking about it. If you and I, Jacques, if you and I could get into a time ship and travel back in time and talk to these people face to face, that would be the best eyewitness. I know you've got a fascination with bones. Jacques, Philippe, there's no use of bones in classical philology. Okay. Well, I can't let a bone. It's a science, dude. It's the science of language, and it's the science of the language, Jacques, that is so sexy. It's so sexy. She didn't make it to you. Right? I'm sorry. You were a wheel, a cog. You were there to condemn me as some kind of drug fanatic. Yeah, you were. And you helped make me. And I want to thank you. And it's my privilege to show this to the congregation. They deserve it, don't you? Hello, Hannah. Oh, yes, Hannah. You're on the waiting list. Let's see how far we get. Hopefully we get to you. and bring you on and hear your things, and stick around. We'll see, Hannah. We'll put you on there, right? Because it's a new segment we're testing, right? Fantastic. Hannah gets to be the guinea pig. All right. Yeah, is that all right? Let's go. Clippery. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
You've got dental calculus, okay? And you've got sometimes fragments of blood inside
Wait,
the
fast
skull,
forward this
which
shit.
has
Dental
organic
calculus.
material
We
and
just kept talking about the Chemical
remained
Muse.
been conserved from antiquity. So it's really possible to do it. So maybe he has to create a research group about this to go further.
Wait
Do
a minute.
you
Okay, just
in your
stop there. Maybe he has to create a research group to go farther. That's not what you said in your review, expert. People, do you know what everybody told me? Peer review, right? You're not going to get peer review. This is peer review. First of all, the dude's not a peer. Second of all, it came with a political message in order to squash someone with information. Do you understand? That's why what Danny is doing is so important. He's exposing that. You're seeing that. You're seeing the film. This is an expose. Danny is going to expose things. He's going to go in. He's the dude. He's the dude that goes into, to breach the wall. Do you understand? Do you understand? He's got to run, man. He's got to run with all of that satanic dynamite strapped to him. The dynamite of quantum reality, people. It's the only thing. It's the only thing. It's going to work. Do you see what happens when they get reality with the text? It's shocking and amazing to them. I'm sorry, people. If you want me to go on with Medusa, I will. But how much time are we in? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Give me a couple more.
studies of classical antiquity and Athenian cultures, do you find in your studies any evidence of psychotropic drugs or anything like this?
I really don't know. I did not search for it, so I don't know.
You did not search for it?
No.
When you're doing your work, you
Stop. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Your criticism is that I didn't look at your studies of the drugs in the material culture, and you don't know what those studies are. Do you hear, people? This man, I'm serious. You know where they got Jacques? They pulled him off the blue-blooded streets. Do you understand? To protect their organization. This is weak. Do you see how weak it is, people? Do you see why I was able to go to the conferences? Oh, God. Do you see why I was able to go to the conferences? Right? The professional conferences and stand toe to toe. Right? Oh, God. Great time. Great times, people. This is outside of that. This was a hit job on the virgin work of the Chemical Muse. And you're seeing it unravel. And Danny Jones is exposing it. That's a demon warrior, baby. Right? God, Samurai would love that stuff, baby. Right? Warrior poets. Give it to me.
You work with people who, and not saying that this would be necessary, but it would be very interesting to see a forensic pathologist and a classical scholar, a classical philologist team up and try to corroborate things in some sort of presentation.
This is the best. The best is to mix all the sources: texts, iconography, skeletons, and also everything that comes from archaeological excavations, from houses, for example, but also from latrines, from trashes also. So when you mix all of this, then you've got strong data to analyze all the past populations.
And is it true during this time period that
This is Jess.
We'll play through the commercial. Dude likes skeleton. I'm gonna call this Jacques the skeleton lover. Okay, I don't know, Jacques, what your fascination with the skeletons is. I mean, I know Danny's getting to the bottom, and he will. But here's the thing. Danny's going to continue to question you, and he's going to pull it out of you very, very carefully that you don't actually read the Greek. Right? You don't actually read. People, why is that so significant? The Chemical Muse is based heavily upon, right? It's my pharmacy dissertation was Roman pharmacy. It was very specific, right? Roman pharmacy. Why do you think I was writing a book about Roman pharmacy? Because I was reading the 10% of classics that people don't read. You know, a dude who was a Roman physician, the best Roman physician, most prolific writer, right, of his time and times thereafter. Do you understand? Just the stuff this guy, you and I and Lady Babylon, we're going to read the whole Theriac to Piso, right? We're going to just sit and read it together, because I want you to, and there's a perfectly good translation, perfectly good, from Exeter. We're just going to look at that together, and I want you to be in the shoes of these people. And when you are, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, holy crap, Amun's not giving us the BS. Right? What you saw was a professional hit job by a clumsy oaf who's been caught. Hit it.
And famine and hand-to-hand combat and were very, very prevalent and just a part of life in that time, in those cultures. Was that something that was just constantly, like, I think in that book he mentions that there was plagues almost on average, like every 50 years, I think it was.
I don't know if it was true plague or epidemics.
Yeah. Do you know what this gentleman is going to dance around now? Because he was just the critic of my book, right? He's just the critic. He wasn't he wasn't one of the co-researchers. He wasn't, you know what I mean? He didn't have any. How did I figure out how frequently plagues were in Rome? Do you know I figured that out? I did. And I did it at my desk with a bunch of books. And because I found people that every year there's a plague, the Romans will signify that religiously in their religious cast. They drive nails into walls and stuff like that in order to set their calendar to remember the year of the plague. Citywide disease. People are fleeing. Right? People are fleeing Rome. What years are they noted? The historians make notes of that. Right? They tell you. So if you're actually reading those sources, and what I was going to say before that I didn't finish is the Greek is so important. You think, oh, well, what about Latin? No, totally not. Totally not. Right? Why do you think Galen is writing in Greek? Right? Right? Why do you think the Emperor Nero is looking for the Theriac in Greek? It's going to be something in Greek. They're going to record it in Greek. People, I'm telling you, the language is the key. That's why the biggest crime of the classical modern history, the history of modern classical philology, the biggest crime is that these texts haven't been spewed out from these libraries like Herculaneum, where they're finding them and deriving the technology. These things need to be given to the public. The classicists need to get a hold of them. They're going to dispense them out like they're gold giblets. People are going to take them and publish them, right? The academic community. These are bad people. I'm telling you. right? Bad people are wealthy and wear nice clothing and speak the right way and go to the right universities and teach there. Do you understand? Fantastic. And I loved it. I loved when I was going through it. You can imagine how much I loved going through it. But I loved it because it was showing me the unnatural facade, right, of everything. The facade of everything. Okay, stop talking about yourself. Hit me with another one. Boom.
But you had
epidemics or plagues. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
but you had many often epidemics, then war, then lack of alimentation, and you had many crises with.
Mhm.
All right, sorry, people. Let me finish. By the way, for those of you who have Tourette's out there, tits out, right? Let's do the reasoning now. How did I figure that out? So I just took those plagues that were in every year, and it wasn't every year that they were in. It wasn't every other year. Sometimes it was 2 years in a row, right? Sometimes it was 3. Sometimes it was 1, and then 15 later it was another one, right? When you averaged it out, I was just reading this stuff and I was like, dude, just calculate it. It's just pure math. Average it out. How much does it come to? I can do basic math, right? How much does it come out to? It comes out to 1 plague every 7 years in the life of Rome. Okay? Cosmopolitan Rome. They crawled out of their huts soon as the Greeks came in and gave them the ability to make an alphabet. Right? Right? I'm sorry. I have such admiration and sympathy for the great queen. I'm going to make simping a good thing. That's my goal. I'm going to simp Mother Greek, people. Give me a little more clip, just a little more.
Prefer to speak about crisis, okay? Alimentary, demographic crisis, problem of alimentation, of food supplementation. Yes, this was really common in the ancient period, but not only in antiquity, also in medieval period or modern period too. We were speaking about Louis XIV. There were a lot of crises during his reign also. So it was really common, but we were speaking about the use of drugs. As I remember working in Venezia, Italy, and
In Venice.
In Venice,
Okay.
yes, Venice, and I studied some pipes from Venice. At this period, people
Pipes? Smoking pipes.
Smoking pipes, yes, smoking pipes, and people were smoking tobacco mixed with cannabis.
Oh, really?
Yes, but not for recreative purposes normally. Rather against malaria, bad
Malaria.
yes, malaria, not the sense you use it for paludism, okay, but malaria means in ancient Latin or French or Italian, bad air, bad air.
That sounded like he knew what he was talking about, didn't it? It's not Italian. It's not Latin. It's Greek. Do you understand? It's why they were fumigating what they were fumigating. It's bad air. It's bad air. Of course, we get malaria from that. Do you understand? But through the Hippocratic corpus and beyond through the Alexandrian physicians, right? Because Alexandria becomes popping hot, right? And they'll let the people do the vivisection there, right? Galen talks about, it's not just Alexandria, it's all over the place. Galen talks about, we can't do it, but they do. Right? It's mostly potentates, right? Governments that will allow you that kind of thing, right? Romans have a little higher standards, right? They're taking that civilization thing to the extreme. They're carrying that vestal flame. That vestal flame. Where do you think those virgins came from? Right? Love it. Okay, that's why I'm bringing Medusa today. Okay, let's stop right there because I feel like in exposing people to Jacques, the intercontinental back alley finger job giver, I think it's time that we actually just go to some text. We actually go to some Greek. That's so funny that he said that he hit every language but the one language that it was from, which is Greek, which is what Danny said brought out of him later, that he doesn't actually read Greek. Oh, and by the way, this is funny. John Scarborough would appreciate this. He would appreciate this. He said he could read all of Galen easy. It's no problem. Danny said, "Can you read all of Galen?" Right? Dude, I've been studying for 35 years, 40 years, somewhere in that range. Right? John Scarborough had been studying for longer than that. And I guarantee you, he would say, "You're never going to read them all. Promise you. Promise you, people." Right? Okay. Fantastic. Oh, God. See, when somebody's in the field, it's a big difference. Right? By the way, he said he'd do that in a year. He said he'd do that in a year. I'm going to send him those texts. I'm going to send him a link where you can get all those texts, and I'm going to say, go, you little bitch. I'm going to come back to you in a year with the devil's authority this time. And do you know what I'm going to give to you, Jacques? Yeah, I'm going to give you a psychic enema. A psychic enema, baby, of the hottest ancient drugs you can possibly imagine. Jesus is going to be there, Jacques. He's going to be there, you and me and Jesus. And let me tell you something. Jesus is Christ, and Christs have erections, Jacques. Did you know that? Did you know it? He doesn't know this stuff because he's a back alley. He's a back alley guy. Right? You need to go join the brothel. He's a good one for the brothel. Somebody send this guy to Myth Vision quickly. He could be in the back alley too. Right? Love it. You guys, you're all pathetic, right? It's all pathetic what you do. Right? Find somebody who can do it. Okay, Chewy, give me people. I want to share with you. You're gonna need to blow it up. Okay, let's start with this one. Go ahead. People, I just want to put this up there. I'm always going to go backwards, you know what I mean? Because it's creepy and it's the way to do it, you know what I mean? But I want you to see this section. Oh, God. Who is this? This is Euripides. I just wanted you to see the most horrific. And by the way, now is the time for your horror slides. We're going to be talking about a cult drug combo. And this cult drug combo written into Euripides is going, as this line says in blue, is going to make the child appear to be dead. Right? But he's not. You're not going to kill him. Do you understand? You could have a doctor. Give me the one before. You could have a doctor. Yeah. The most important one, too, that I said. Just bring that most important one. You can have a doctor. Yeah, blow it up. Yes. Okay. You could have a doctor come into the room, take this kid's pulse, or a nurse, or a EMT, and take the kid's pulse, and he will be totally dead. Get ready to bury him. Right? This phenomenon is not mentioned in just one or two places. It's all over the place. It's for those who are using the thanasimoi, those drugs that induce a state of death. And guess who is using them? Guess who is using them? We have an example here. Do you know who's using them in our example here? It is the daughter of somebody that you should keep in the back of your mind as a satanic congregation. The daughter of Athena's chosen viper founder of Athens, Erichthonius, the one who comes from the wool and the ground. Do you understand where we are? What happens? The master craftsman. The master craftsman. Do you have the master craftsman with the virgin? Here is the picture, people, of what I want to show you. The master craftsman is overcome by the power of the virgin. Now, we all know that he's no threat to the virgin. Why is that? Because the virgin is the spear shaker whom we all fear. All of the gods quake at the virgin who shakes her spear while she dances naked. This is the Athana. What I did was I just quoted to you a hymn. The hymn, people. This is coming right out of the celebration of the heart of Athens. The place that gave you democracy, this is their heart. This is where Mother Greek flourished. So that dudes later like Galen, educated at Pergamum, right, with their library, at their hospital, Wes Huff, temples of Asclepius, people. It all goes, it's all a river that runs through Mother Greek. Right? The Romans were able to carry it. They were able to transport it until the Monists came and destroyed it and all the knowledge of it, to impress upon you a world of a Christ where a Christ is not a drug. That's your reality. Oh, God, it's amazing. Give me back the reality. Give me the true, the actual evidence, people. What happens to the craftsman, the master craftsman, the divine craftsman? What happens to that son of the most beautiful queen? What happens to him when he falls for the virgin? She who shakes the spear, right? He chases her to no avail, doesn't help him. And he ejaculates on her leg. Okay. Now, Athena, who is rightly disgusted, as we're told, because she is Parthenos. Okay? She is rightly disgusted. She takes a piece of wool, gets rid of the seed, throws it on the ground. But this is the seed of the master craftsman. And from his divine essence, from his divine haima, which is usually translated blood, but on the cult side, is being used for semen. Fantastic. It's gorgeous, people, and you can see it in the definitions of the words. How, look, they're coupling the haima with the blood, between the blood and the semen. The essences, right? What do you need? Oh, God. So what happens? A kid grows up. Shut up, Timmy. I'll explain it later. A kid grows out of it. And the kid that comes out of that is going to be part viper. He's going to drive some ladies crazy. Long story short, they're going to kill themselves under his influence. Is that now, people? Do you feel the horror? Do you feel just a little bit of horror? Okay, right? So Athena feels obliged to this kid that he end up in a good way, right? Why? Because she's Athena, man. That's how she is. She's always doing stuff like that, right? Come on, man. Right? She takes him and she gives him to some ladies. She drives them crazy. They kill themselves, right? What happens? What happens to the here? Let me do this. What happens then? Well, she's got to do something with the poor little dude, right? So she takes him out because that's how things are. She takes him out and she gives him to, somebody who can take care of him, right? And ends up giving to him a gift. And if you don't understand this gift, it's because you are not yet initiated. It is a set of vials that he wears at all times, connected by chains, golden chains. And in those vials, are you ready? Two concoctions. One is the death inducer. The other is the giver of life. People, we are in such bad shape that people didn't even bother to look at Euripides to find the Christ, which we did together. Right? They didn't bother to look in Euripides for the actual Christing, the actual communion, the actual rite. It's sitting right there. The root cutter's son who composes in the darkness of the cave brought it to you and laid it to you on the lap of Ion. Ion was the son of Apollo. And this woman who is now the queen. This is Athenian beauty at its heart. And what do we bring? What do we bring from the Athenian beauty? We bring the aegis. What does this virgin do? She removes the head. She removes the head of the Medusa. She takes the Gorgon's blood, because the Gorgon's blood is what fills the two separate vials. One of them brings death. Oh. And one of them gives life. Now, you can read about the Theriac life giver that Galen is working on, because they found it in the library that Nero was using. Right? And you can look at Marcus Aurelius, and you can look at the way that he changes. Right? What does he say about it? He says it's good for him in all ways. People notice. Right? And then it becomes a thing after him, more common. Right? Until then, it's in the imperial line. It's an imperial secret. They are selfishly hoarding in Rome some of the most important medical discoveries of this world. Oh, God. Thank you, Mother Greek. And you say, why didn't Galen write in Latin? Are you kidding me? Galen would look at you in the face and he would say, shut up. Right? Why? Because everybody like Lucretius knew they would apologize when they tried to write something scientific in Latin. It's funny because our guys like Philippe, or back alley boys like Philippe, will think, oh, the Latin is because he does. He reads Latin, right? He says so, right? Oh, God, right? You know what Galen would do? He would laugh at that, just like Lucretius had to apologize when he wrote something in scientific terminology. He said, I know we Romans in Latin, we can't express the same thing the Greeks can. He apologizes multiple times. So I'm not just blowing this smoke, people, right? This is real. This is real. Give me the text back and let's see. There's a couple of points I wanted to add. It is so hot. These here. We're gonna have to do these a little bit earlier, people, because it's summertime. You know what I mean? If one of those, I'm gonna scream like a little kid, right? If one of those gigantic hornets comes in here. Love those yellow jackets, man. Give me the next one. Oh, God, there it is. People, what does it say here at the top? He's talking about the thing that Athena made. And I want you to see. He says, you know, what's its confirmation, baby? What is it like? She says it's that thoraca, that shield that is a skin. Right? And it is what? It is weaponized. That's what this says in the second line. It says it is weaponized with the petty bolois of the echidna. It is weaponized with the darts of the echidna. Now, a lot of people will say coils for petty bolois. Coils, right? We have a direct association whenever they're talking about these Medusae, these Gorgons. Right? Where does Athena get the Gorgon's blood? She explains. Right? Fantastic. Why the darting glances? Why the arrow points? Why the poison that can hit you in the fumigation? It's all running back to the echidna. Do you remember we saw the echidna priesthood in action when the apostles were fighting it, people? This is a reality. This is not a fairy tale. These are drug-using cultists who are jockeying for the Christ position. This is your history. It's my history. It's reality. It's things like this that people like Jacques, people in the institutions that have to make money off of you. Your greed stains your souls with the stench of ruin, and you don't even get the actual history. You don't get it. It's lost. And you can have guys like Joe Rogan in the back alley. He's in the back alley right now with Wes Huff. Personal note to Joe Rogan and Wes Huff. Wes, Danny asked you to come out and talk to him, right? With me present. All we'd have done is looked at some Bible, buddy. That's all we'd have done, right? But I know, when you see somebody who actually does it, it makes you afraid. Oh, fantastic. Did you see that? That was like a WWF or something. I don't know. What's the WNBA going on? I hear they're getting gladiatorial stuff too. They putting cage fighters in the NBA now? Fantastic. Right? That's what they should do, right? Make a combo. We'll call it the all combat. right? Like, oh, I'm sorry, they had that in Greek. It's pancration. Right? They didn't play basketball, but it was basically anything goes. Okay, give me the next one. Yeah, same one. Give me the same one. Did you hear? I sound like a. Why do I sound like that? People, look at the fourth line down. Right? She's asking him, like, what do you know about Erichthonia? She's trying to explain to him where she got this material. Right? Athena gave it to Erichthonius, and when he died, it passed on to her, Creusa. She is his daughter. Now, I want you to look about halfway down the page at the line starting underneath the highlighted line. Disus stalagmus haimatos gorgus apo. She says, this is the runnings, right? The twofold, the diploid runnings of the blood of the Gorgon. Now, if you walked in and you were like, what did she say? It's on her wrist. What did she say? It's the diploid. Right? It's the diploid mystery, people. Let's question her further, right? Just like this old coot is doing here. That's who this Presbuse is. He's trying to rile her up, Creus, you know what I mean? Right. Anyway, look at the line under Creus. It says, Iskun echon tastina pros anthropophosen. What kind of nature? You know, what kind of nature does it have? What kind of effect is this drug going to have upon the nature of the person who takes it? Right? He's an inquisitive old coot. And look under that. What does she say, people? Can you underline this, Joey, right here? That word right there? Yeah. No, this one. Boom. Thanasimon. Thanasimon. This one. There you go. Thanasimon, people. That means a death inducer. Thanasimon. She says one is a death inducer. The other one removes disease. And he says, well, do you mix them together? What's it? Right? What's gonna right? Oh God. First he says, what's this contraption you got that's holding them together? Right? What is it? She says, it's the golden chains. Right? The golden chains entwine the two sides of the diploid communion given to me through the Virgin. All right. All right. And we know that one of them gives life, right? And one of them takes it. Good. All right. Look down at the bottom, third line from the bottom, right? How's this, how is this thing described that she's wearing? How is it described? As a doron. It is a doron. Now, people would say that doesn't necessarily help me. It's the word for gift. It's the word for gift. Something somebody gives you. And as is apparent from the next side, because this is coming from her veins, this is the doron that is the bodily gift. Do you see how they're thinking? Comes from that hollow vein, only brought by slaughter. Okay. Give me the next one. Yeah. No, that's the same one. Go. Yeah, go ahead. Give me that one. I'm reading it backwards, people, right? For a reason. Don't worry. Look at the top. you know of something called the Battle of the Earthborn. It's a time when the giants were established. And you know what happens. They stood against the gods. People hang in there, right? Stay in there, just like the muse of the Vatican told you, right? The Etruscan muse there, right? Just listen to her. What she tell you, stick with the allegory, right? Just follow the allegory all the way down to the ground, to the earth. Right? From that earth comes what? On the middle line comes the Gorgon. From earth comes Gorgon. And what is she? She is a Teras. She is a Teras. She is a miraculous, inexplicable, frightening occurrence. This is a one of a kind. This is where your blood mixtures of the echidnaic fire are coming from. Okay? This is an actual person actually involved in the mystery. Do you understand? And who is she? Right? She's this daughter. She's this daughter who is taken on from her father the gift of the Virgin. Just process that for a minute in your allegorical heads. Allegory is a Greek word. By the way, all of this is Greek that we're dealing with. Yeah, it is. It is. It's gorgeous. I love it. Oh, God. Okay. Give me again that last one. People, where is it coming from? It's coming from that Gorgon. And what is she able to do? She's able to produce a set that will cause you to die and be resurrected in a newer, more potent form. This is the mystery. You will be born again, I can promise. Now, she was born, right? This Gorgon, she was born as an ally of all who belonged to the earth and an enemy, a pain to all the gods. That is why Pallas Athena, I am translating, right? Creusa says, yes, that's her. And she says, Pallas Athena, the daughter of God, right? She is the Theodios, right? She is the goddess who is the daughter of God. And what happens? What happens, right? She killed the Gorgon. The Virgin killed the Gorgon. You mean she didn't kill that guy who was chasing her and jerked off on her, essentially? Nope. No, she raised that child that came from that. Who did she kill? She killed the Gorgon so that she could create the Gorgon's communion. Welcome to the mystery. Do we have any? Did you show the Gorgons? Yeah, I think you did. Fantastic. Put her up there again on the bottom because she's important. Yeah. I want you to realize, people, this image that you're looking at is only made possible to you by the communion of the echidna. When you look into the face of the Medusa, trust me, they're applying these images to these images that they are receiving within the right. They're applying them to their art, people. Today, there is a wall of separation between art and religion. And that is why monist music sounds so placid and weak, right? Even when they tried to take over and invade rock, they couldn't. This is the reason. Today, there's a wall of separation between music and religion. This natural religion requires music. These images that you see them pulling out of thin air, these images are brought to them by the right. If you want that secret, if you want that new birth, you're going to have to come through her. This is the Christ thing. This is the reality that shows us that everything we believe is a lie. None of it. It's all back alley jocks. Whether they're wearing priest collars or whether they're pastors or teachers, Sunday school people, I'm telling you, as a Sunday school teacher, I'm telling you, they do not see. And they don't see because they don't get they don't avail themselves of the beauty. They decided not to date. You know, Mother Greek was too hot. She was just too hot. I'm sorry. The Theriac. Thank you for coming. We are getting to a point very soon where the crack that we are driving into the ceiling will open up and we'll be free forever of the monism. Thank you for coming. Hail Satan.
Roll around like a zombie do, eyes roll in the back of their head, eating the dead, blood drinkers, snow blind again. On the microphone, 1-2, Orphic harmony on the harp. It's Donnie Darko, milking these motherfucking bricks out. Teddy Bass putting in more work, with politicians pulling your skirts. Just dance a little bit, wugga 2 shoes at the party, dressed to kill. These motherfucking drugs got them ill, baby. I'm a Diaz dead switch with the prick. Who brought these drugs? Who brought the drugs? Hit 'em with the magic tune. Eyes rolling back of the head. Like a zombie do.